This started as an internal initiative, right? We got to change the dialogue internally, right? Because what's coming from the outside is not true and it's not encompassing the masses, right? We're stereotyping, we're typecasting, right? We want to tell the true story internally. Now, I want to take a pivot and talk about the story externally because you guys have been the king of brand deals and these partnerships, but that's all external media with oftentimes the brands and people at those tables that don't look like us, right? And so what are those conversations like when it's like, okay, we are gonna do a partnership with Ciroc or Wayfair or Frito-Lay, right? All the stuff that you guys are doing with BMW Digital. What are those conversations like to say, hey, we're gonna portray this brand, our image, our people in this light?
I mean, honestly, so whenever we have a conversation with the brand, we always want to understand, like, all right, what's the true win for you here, right? Like, not, we turn down a lot of people that are like, hey, we want y'all to do a flash mob. For what? You know what I mean? Like, what is it? Because for us, the flash mob is an organic brotherhood experience. It's not a brand experience. It's not we want to have a table here and people can come and pick up products. It's like, that's not what the flash mob is. You want to do an exhibition hall? We can get you space at Essence Fest, and then we can activate an activation at Essence Fest on your behalf, where you can have a table and you can have this. But that's not what the flash mob is. The flash mob is true, pure brotherhood. And so then they're like, okay, well, how can we do this? And then that's when we understand, okay, what are your goals here? If you tell us your goals, we can create strategy around that. That strategy might lean into an experiential activation, which could be a place where we do something similar to gathering men together. That's not a flash mob because, again, like, we try to help them understand there's more ways to win in our community versus y'all we want to do a flash mob. And so having that conversation to where we lead with strategy, helping us understand what is it, the results that you're trying to garner. If the results that you're trying to garner are leading into top of the funnel engagement, so that way more people know about your brand, cool. We can do that this way, this way, this way, or this way. And then their mind starts thinking about, okay, well, when you have data and you have results, that speaks a lot. So now that we've been on this, having this agency for going into our 4th year on the agency, the results and the data help us to say, I know what you think you want, but let me show you how a partner like a Brown-Forman, who came to us and said, we want to make the Kentucky Derby a more inclusive experience. How would y'all do it? And we say, all right, Woodford Reserve, what we would do is we would host an event that leans into Black excellence and Black expression. Do research on that. We find out that 13 of the first 15 jockeys that won the Kentucky Derby look like me. Wow. So for us, as now this event that has 150,000 people, man, it was an amazing sight to see. You look around and it's like, man, it might only be 500 Black people here with 150,000 people. Wow. That number might be a little low, right? It might be a little bit more than that, but it's just so many people you see. But what we're trying to tell this story around is this event is inclusive. Now let's celebrate the excellence that we have as a part of this story. Now, what that does for us is now we're saying, all right, well, shoot, Woodford is celebrating the Blackness of the Derby. And then we go interactive with that. So we say, all right, so we're going to celebrate that. That's going to be the crux of the event series that we do. So then we do a mini tour. We do a tour that highlights, and we talk to them about, like, well, what's the biggest thing about Derby? They say food, fashion, and drinks. So, all right, cool. If that's the breakdown of the importance of Derby, well, we're going to take those 3 pillars and develop a Black expression tour around that leans into helping people understand the culinary experience that goes with Woodford Reserve. We're going to help people understand the fashion around the Kentucky Derby. We're going to help people understand the mixology around the drinks that you're going to make for your own Kentucky Derby party. So we make it an organic experience that now they're getting that top of the funnel. We're able to garner over 30 million impressions organically for them in 4 cities with an event that only had an attendance of 400 people. Right? Because it was organic and it was authentic. That was our way. It was invite only. It was exclusive. You had the right people in there that are going to talk about that. So they're having the conversations around, man, I'm excited about Derby this year. I'm going to actually watch the Derby on TV this year because I know I'm going to have a Derby party and you better come in the right clothes. And like just those things, because now we've been able to make it to where it's an experience that now when I do go to Derby, I know, let me order the Brown Derby at the bar. Let me order the Spire with Woodford. Because I went to this experience and they helped me to educate and feel a little bit better about when I go into this space. Shoot, I'm here with everybody. I know exactly what they're talking about. And so for us, the idea around it wasn't well, let's do something that is a flash mob. Our idea was, let's curate an experience that ingrains this brand with this community and really shows this community that you give a dang, right? If we would have just went into it like, hey, we're doing a party for Kentucky Derby, could it have gone well? Probably, because we're black menswear, right? Just to be honest, right?
Everything we touch,
But the educational experience that now these people are having relationships with this brand.
There you go.
I got homies calling me and say, hey bro, I went to the bar today. Guess what I ordered? I got the old fashioned with Woodford because I learned it at the event that y'all had. Right? And so just those subtle things to now that brand has that brand equity. But it goes to their experience wasn't Woodford Reserve pander to me. Their experience was like, yo, I went to this event and I learned a lot. And I had a great time and I felt empowered because now I'm looking at all of the imagery in this building are black jockeys. So now my experience is, oh man, like horse racing is cool. The Derby is an event that now I want to go to. And like all of these other things that they're now able to learn organically and authentically, which then for us, it helps us to take our audience to another level. Our entire desire for our community is to be where you're supposed to be at. And if you don't feel like you're welcome there, how can we make you feel welcome there? You go into the bank with a suit on, you know you're gonna get the loan, right? That's that mindset versus you go in there, you don't look the part, dang, now I gotta come over all these hurdles and, well, they ain't expect me to wear. Play the game, bro.
You gotta wear the uniform.
Play the game.
You gotta wear the uniform.
Play the game. And so like that's how we have the conversation with our brand partners. Help us understand what it is you're really trying to get to. And then where we are phenomenal as at top of the funnel. We can get people talking about your brand. We do a lot with measuring net sentiment, which focuses on if we take a look at your social conversation, how positive versus how negative is it? If we can take that social conversation, let's say you got 100 people talking about you and your net sentiment score is 50, that means that for every one person that says something positive about you, somebody's saying something bad. So that's an opportunity for your brand to move itself forward. How do we take all this conversation and turn it into a positive conversation?
There you go.
So when we do a campaign with Brown-Forman, with Woodford Reserve, now we're able to show them that the results over this month time that we did this campaign, your net sentiment globally was 99% positive. Right? That's the data. So now you have a community that's talking positively about your brand, that's had a great time at one of your 4 events in these 4 different cities that are now encouraged, like, I actually want to go to the Super Bowl of horse racing. So that's how we're able to help them to quantify what the success was for them in their campaign. And that conversation started with, man, we like what y'all do with the flash mobs. How can we do that? And it came way off of that. And now we're going to our 3rd year partnership with them. You know? So just being able to do that, have the conversation with the brand, really understand what they're trying to achieve, and then allowing our creativity to get into that. And then what we do, like I said, where we have a really good results are that top of the funnel. Help more people get engaged, introduced to your brand, introduced to your audience, and then that's what they pay their internal marketing people to bring them down the funnel.